Imagine this. You're given 2 weeks to complete a 4-page essay, and you say that you have plenty of time, so you keep pushing it till tomorrow. I'll just do it tomorrow, right? Now you're sitting the morning of the deadline, staring at a white blank document, fidgeting your leg, hoping that the words start to miraculously type themselves on that screen. Does this sound familiar? I'm sure most of us have procrastinated at some point in our lives. I can't tell you how many times I've procrastinated and placed myself in a situation similar, if not the exact same one as I mentioned. I even procrastinate in the morning before waking up. I sometimes like to hit the snooze button on my alarm just to get a 5-10 more extra minutes of sleep, right? I'm sure I'm not the only one that does this. Throughout my research, I learned more about what procrastination is, why we procrastinate, and different ways that can help us reduce or limit procrastination. So let's start by defining what procrastination is. According to the Cambridge English Dictionary, procrastination is defined as to keep delaying something that must be done, often because it is unpleasant or boring. Most of us would rather watch a new episode of our favorite show than having to start an essay that still has plenty of time to be done, right? Joseph Harari, a professor of psychology at DePaul University in Chicago, mentions in one of his researches that about 20% of US men and women are chronic procrastinators, meaning that they do this all the time and it's a habit at this point. And I'm sure many college students also do this. An interesting quote said by Sam Levinson is, "I'm going to stop putting things off starting tomorrow." Have you ever asked yourself, why do people procrastinate? Why do we do it? Well, according to Very Well Mind, people sometimes procrastinate because they don't know where or how to begin. Sometimes the instructions are unclear, or we say that our brain is a little foggy, so we'll just start this task in a couple days when my mind is freshened up, when I can finally understand the instructions better, right? Another reason why people procrastinate is because they don't have the motivation, according to an article said by Kendra Cherry and Very Well Mind. People are driven by motivation and goals, and if there's nothing at the end of the rope, people won't really go out of their way to finish something. Another reason why some people procrastinate is because they just can't seem to focus. They will sit down and start an assignment and eventually hear their phone buzz or vibrate, and they immediately look at their screen and start messaging or whatever notification they get on. And what was supposed to be a 5-minute break eventually turns into half an hour, which eventually turns into a full hour, till they say, "I'll just do it some other day." Now, we talked about what procrastination is and why we procrastinate. Now I'll mention some ways that can help us improve or reduce procrastinating. An option that can help this is by breaking tasks into smaller intervals or smaller parts. So if you have one big project, you should break it into like small little pieces and just do a little by little every day so it doesn't seem overwhelming. Another way is by ranking your tasks from easiest to hardest or hardest to easiest. Sometimes when things are all cluttered up, people become overwhelmed and anxious and they just don't want to do it at all anymore. But if you rank it from easiest or hardest, vice versa, it allows you to focus on one thing at a time to get them completed. Another way is by cheating the deadline, meaning, let's say that an assignment is due on Sunday, you'll finish it by Friday. That's your deadline. And you'll finish it by Friday, and you still have those 2 extra days before submitting. This gives you the opportunity to overlook whatever you're going to submit and look for any errors or mistakes that you might have missed. Now, to sum up everything I just mentioned, we talked about what procrastination is, why we procrastinate, and different ways that can help us improve or reduce procrastination. I'll leave you with this quote by Seneca. "While we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away."